Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking and subscribing the channel is free and easy, and it helps me out a lot. If you want to go a little farther with your support, I have Patreon and YouTube membership available, which includes access to the BoshNRoll Discord server, early access to things I'm working on, sideboard plans, cards I'm buying. You could have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use the YouTube membership option, you get sweet, unique YouTube badges and emotes for the channel. If you want to play what I'm playing, you can use the code BoshNRoll to support my channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com. And if you're playing on Magic Online, a cardhoarder.com loan account can let you play any deck anytime. If you want to wear your support, there is BoshNRoll merch available. All of these links are in the video description below. Thank you so much for watching. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome to another BoshNRoll video. Today I am playing Modern, and this is at the request of Patreon subscriber Sam. And Sam asked me to play whatever I think is the best Jund deck right now. No particular list, just wanted to see Ignoble Hierarch in a Jund list. And I did some digging on MTG Goldfish. I am not a Jund expert myself. I have no particular opinions on how to build Jund. And I was surprised to find that Bloodbraid Elf nowhere to be found. Anywhere in recent 5.0 lists, anywhere in recent challenges. Card is just not in Jund decks these days. And I found this version that put up two 5.0s with two different pilots over the last 2 weeks. And this is doing some cool stuff. At the top end, I want to start at the top because it makes everything else make sense. This is a collected company deck, 4X collected company, and that explains this mess of 3-drops that the deck is playing. Also, if you're playing Ignoble Hierarch and Birds of Paradise, you just have the full 5 mana dorks here. Jumping from 1 mana to 3 mana with a mana dork makes sense to want to play 3-drops. That's just how this lines up. And if your deck's full of 3-drops anyway, Coco starts to make sense. This is a well-constructed deck here, and I'm into it. So let's look at the supporting cast. Obviously, there's just 2 Ragavans here, because why the hell not? It's a modern deck with red mana, right? Just put some Ragavans in there. Kroxa has shown up all over Modern lately. This is not a Lurrus deck, obviously, because it's full of 3-drops, but Kroxa is very popular in the Lurrus decks as a 2-drop, technically, with all sorts of fatness on the back end. It's a 2-drop that punches like a 4-drop or a 6-drop, and that's just a good place to be. And it's a cool place to be in a deck that is milling itself and gaining advantage. Plague Engineer, obviously just, modern and legacy staple creature. If you're in black, you probably want some copies of these. There's one in the main and another in the board. 4 Bonecrusher Giant. That gives you 4 removal spells plus 4 4/3s that you can hit off of Collected Company. Bonecrusher Giant doesn't really need an introduction at this point. This card is just great. Easy peasy. Seasoned Pyromancer as a 4-of. You can Collected Company into drawing 2 more cards and making 2 more creatures. Big deal. Splinter Fright. I've literally not seen this card since Innistrad Limited. This is a star trample. Splinter Fright's power and toughness are each equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. At the beginning of your upkeep, you mill 2 cards. So this thing doesn't do anything on its own. It's a pretty bad hit off the first Collecting Company, but if you're trading off, if you're doing stuff, if you're milling yourself with Grist, which is a 4-of, holy moly, 4 Grist in this deck, Splinter Fright can be a gigantic monster later in the game. 3 Endurance in the main, just thick body, powerful ability, interacts on turn 0 if you need it to. So good, the 4th one is actually over here on the board. 4 Lightning Skelemental. This is important to take note of because this means that you want to main phase your collected companies. Passing the turn and then trying to Coco them in combat is gonna hurt some amount of time because you do have this haste creature that dies at the end of the turn. Like, you want to be Cocoing in your first main phase a lot of the time here. You could, if you Coco in the end step, the way the rules work is that at the beginning of the end step, sacrifice Lightning Skelemental. So if you cast Collected Company in your opponent's end step, the beginning of the end step has already passed, and you will get to untap and attack with Lightning Skelemental, and then it'll sacrifice at the beginning of your end step. That is how that works. So you could end step Coco or main phase Coco looking for Lightning Skelemental. It just kind of hurts if you want to pop it off in combat on their turn. 1 Clothis, powerful stuff, and we've already talked about Collected Company. Sideboard, Crime and Punishment. Let me get that on the screen for you because it's a weird one. I haven't seen this card in many years either. Crime, 5 mana, Put target creature or enchantment card from an opponent's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. That's basically flavor text. There's only one white source in the deck, and it's the Birds of Paradise, so we're probably not casting Crime at any point, but it is fun to keep an eye on it. And Punishment is what this is really for. Destroy each artifact, creature, and enchantment with mana value X. So it's kind of like a Engineered Explosives / Pernicious Deed kind of thing. And that's a cool thing to have available. It's cool that this is showing up in Modern as a 3-of, like it's not even close. I imagine this is a sweeper for Saga tokens primarily. Just wipe up any number of 0-drops, any number of foods, any number of constructs. That's pretty cool tech. Collector Oof, more respect for artifact stuff. Crawl Harpooner, picks off flying creatures. 3 Force of Vigor. You'll notice a theme here, a lot of respect for artifacts and enchantments. And then Trips Magus the Moon. Tron is still out there, gotta respect it. Amulet's still out there, gotta respect it. Looking at this deck, I'm definitely... It looks like a Jund deck to me. It looks like it has a little bit for everybody. No unwinnable matchups, no unlosable matchups. Like, this is just a classic 49% against the field deck, and it feels so Jundy, and I love it. The last thing I want to notice, or I totally skipped over Unearth. This just lets you refire all your 3-drops again. Nothing fancy happening there. But the Snow basics jumped out at me because I'm always looking at people who are trying to bullshit with Snow basics. And there is a small justification, and it's Ragavan. If you steal something like Icefang Coatl, you could potentially give it Death Touch with your 3 Snow basics. Other than that, I don't believe there's a reason for the basics to be Snow, and that's such a small edge that you could probably just play the basics that you like. That's just something that I'm super in tune to, because I will basically never play Snow basics over normal basics just to make my opponent think. Like, I think that's such a low edge, and I like to play the art that I like. But there is this tiny little edge, and I will respect it. If it comes up in this league, I don't know. I don't want to say I'll eat my hat, because then I'll end up eating a hat, guaranteed. But it is unlikely to matter. And that's all I wanted to talk about with that. So, notably, no Wrenn and 6 in this deck. That's something I also noticed. This is just tapping out for creatures all the time. It's not trying to grind lands. It's not trying to Wrenn. There are no lightning bolts in this deck. No fatal push. Like, this deck is all in on just being 3-drops. And that's pretty impressive. Let's see how this ends up working. I'm really excited to try this out. I'm on the draw, and I'm going to keep this hand. It's got the Hierarch. That's what we're looking for. Got a turn 2 Grist, or a Stomp, or a Bone Crusher as necessary. I'll need to draw a red or black source if I want Lightning Skelemental, but my deck does have those in it. Oh, I'm playing against Marshall. This is a local friend of mine. I bet he's doing something with rhinos. Oh, no. I lost that bet. Ox of Agonis. Marshall loves a good Goofball Brew. And I'm not surprised that he's on one right now. It'd be really nice to find an Endurance before I'm dead here. Unfortunately, the Burning Inquiry discarded lands that were not the basic forest. I discarded 2 lands off of that, but got to keep my basic forest, which still doesn't cast the card in my hand. But it's okay. I'll make it work. I think I want Stomping Ground because my hand is so red. In case they mess with my hand at all, I want to make sure I'm still functioning with my red mana. Lightning Skelemental seems a little dangerous here, not gonna lie. I believe Ox is 8 to escape. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not even close at the moment. Life from the Loam. Okay. Just doing dread shit. Come on, Endurance. Not Endurance. Lightning Skelemental seems actively terrible, honestly. I'm gonna go for Grist and just get to work with that. Start making insects. Build a Creeping Chill, so that's a drain for me. Yeah, this looks like just regular old Dredge, but with Burning Inquiry for some reason. Bloodghast also got milled off that Loam. That was a good Loam Dredge. Triggers Prized Amalgam. Alright, fetched a tapped Blood Crypt, then played Loam. Here comes the Amalgam. It's back. Birds of Paradise. Still not the Endurance I'm looking for. So Kroxa in hand. Bone Crusher Giant. Do I want to sack a creature to destroy Prized Amalgam? Or do I want to plus Grist some more? I think I want to plus. Make another insect. I'm going to play Birds of Paradise, and I think I just want to put Bone Crusher Giant into play. Like stomping, I could stomp the Amalgam, block with an insect, stomp it. That also lets me get my bird in. Yeah, this game one is probably just unwinnable, honestly. At some point, they're going to do something that is more powerful than I'm doing. Like they're going to find a Conflagrate and just wipe out all these X1s, and it's not going to be a good scene. I need Endurance. Like, it's not too late for Endurance, but it's slowly becoming too late for Endurance. I'm going to block the Amalgam with one insect, and I'm not going to block Bloodghast because I don't want to give them an easy way to recur creatures and trigger all these Amalgams. Blue mana. Okay, yeah, I was hoping for a hardcast Narcomoeba and not something actually busted. Like a giant looting spell. Loam with no targets, that's cool. End of turn. Stomp the Amalgam, finish that off. Fetch a Overgrown Tomb. Ooh, dangerous. There is one Blood Crypt, one Overgrown Tomb left. Is Tomb better than Blood Crypt, or are they comparable here? This Tomb is better at casting Endurance than Blood Crypt, so I'll go with that. And Marshall just messaged me, just realized that we're playing. Just looked at my name finally. Seasoned Pyromancer, that's big money right now. That's 2 draws. It puts Kroxa directly into the graveyard, which I'm not mad about. And this Skelemental isn't really what I want to be doing against Dredge anyway. So I'm just going to get the full boat here. I think I want to fetch my Blood Crypt before I mill. Yeah, taking that shock damage I don't love, but I think it's worth doing. Do I want to destroy Narcomoeba? Is this 1/1 flyer going to kill me? I could Ultimate Grist, which goes 1/2. It deals 3 damage. That's not what I'm in for here. I think I can attack on this board. Narcomoeba, I mean, I have plenty of X1s, and I can't interact with Narcomoeba anyway. This Collected Company is going to get a lot of looks at an Endurance. I just hope it's not too late. Uh-oh, that's Conflagrate. I think I'm literally just dead to that, right? Oh no, there's no cards to pick up with Loam. But Conflagrate can deal 5. They can attack for 1, put me to 2. And then I'm just dead to a Creeping Chill. Yeah, this is bad. Tough spot here. There's the Conflagrate for 5, just going straight to the dome. Discarding the entire hand. Oh, and then playing Ox of Agonis. Jeez, yeah. Good stuff. I forgot about the Ox, it's been in there so long. Not that I could have done anything about it, I just haven't drawn one of my 3 Endurances. Yeah, that triggers the Amalgams, reloads 3 fresh cards. Maybe more if it just dredges these 2 Loams. Yeah, he gets at least dredge 6 here to find a Creeping Chill and just kill me. Narcomoeba, okay. Seems we've dodged that, but there's another Conflagrate in the graveyard right now. So I need to somehow gain 2 life and also have Endurance at the ready, or just win the game. Is it 15 over there? If it gets too aggressive with attacks, then possible I have a lethal backswing. Okay, here come the Amalgams. Grist is actually pretty close to... Like, Grist Ultimate could just pay me here. Okay, I'm gonna Collected Company and see what happens. Is that better than... Yeah, I think with the Skelementals in the pool, I think that's better than Unearthing Kroxa. Okay, Klothys and Endurance are both a little late to the party here. Yeah, Klothys could gain 2 life next turn. I'm not sure that I'm getting a next turn. But okay. Endurance and Klothys do seem to be the plays, though. Oh, I almost misclicked. Collected Company does this stupid thing on Magic Online. Be careful. no, as in decline to put any creatures into play, is on the left. And okay, as in put the creatures into play, is on the right. Every other card on Magic Online, yes is on the left and no is on the right. So glad I didn't auto-click that. Okay, put these 2 creatures into play. And then I put cards on the bottom of the deck like so. Endurance U. And then if I attack with everything, what happens? Some number of these creatures will die. I'm at 2, and oh, I can block with Birds of Paradise and Endurance. Guess I'm technically not dead. Like, maybe I'm supposed to wait another turn and get Klothys hungry. Let's do the math here. So if I attack with everything, block Bonecrusher Giant, block Seasoned Pyromancer. Oh, this is not even close. I have a lot of creatures, but they're not very big or good. I could also sack a creature to kill a Narcomoeba, but I do have 2 flying blockers, which saves a lot of stress there. I'm just going to mill myself and pass the turn and hope I'm not dead. It's got to survive 1 more turn here. Could also just hard cast Creeping Chill at this point. Yeah, here it comes. Cathartic Reunion. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Dredge 6. No chill, no chill, no chill. Okay, no chill. Narcomoeba's in. No chill, no chill, no chill. Casting Life from the Loam. Make sure these lands aren't anything tricky. No, they are just lands. Okay. Okay, all the mana's been spent. You're saying there's a chance. It's passing the turn. Klothys gets to eat. So Klothys, exile Life from the Loam. That gains me 2 life and gets Loam out of here. I can Coco again. I could Coco and Croxa, actually. Or just Croxa. I think I want a Coco. Here it comes. Double Skelemental. Does that deal more than Plague Engineer Skelemental does? Like, I could Plague Engineer, name Illusion, kill all the Narcomoebas. Bloodghast can't block. Then they have Ox. Yeah, I think Plague Engineer is better. Plague Engineer and Skelemental. Okay. Name Illusion. Get those out of here. And then I think I want to attack with everything before I show him I have Croxa. So attack, attack, attack. Here they come. This looks pretty lethal to me. At least with Grist's help on the back end. I just hope that Lightning Skelemental making him discard doesn't do anything too helpful. Oh yeah, lethal damage. That was super lucky, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, here is sideboard for game 2. Punishment. Like, Endurance definitely comes in. There are some artifacts in the deck. Like, the deck does play Shriekhorn. I'm not sure if that's worth oofing for. Plague Engineer can name Vampire or Illusion and control some of what they're up to. Don't think I want Force of Vigor. Magus of the Moon can turn off very little. Like, most of the important cards like Conflagrate and Cathartic Reunion are red. It doesn't get to Loam with Magus in play, but I don't think that's the plan I want to be on. Oh, Splinter Fright could be effing huge here. I think that I have to cut the Croxas because just giving him a controlled discard just seems so bad. Is this a punishment matchup? I don't think that it is. I think this is just an endurance matchup and make it count. Let's go. I just played a Legacy tournament with Marshall, my opponent, this past weekend, and he was playing Rhinos in Legacy with all 8 Spirit Guides, and the deck seemed pretty cool. Marshall is a brewer. I'm going to mulligan this hand. It has... the curve starts at 3 and it has 1 land. That's an easy ship. It also doesn't have endurance, which is a problem. Alright, deck. I think I have to ship this also. Jesus. Alright. At some point I have to keep a hand. And I'm not happy about it. But I think that Splinter Fright and it could be on, or it's probably Skelemental actually, for the reasons I described cutting Kroxa. Yeah, this sucks. Not even a playable hand, much less an Endurance anywhere to be found. But that's okay. We got super lucky last round, or last game. Ooh. Speaking of. Alright, here's Ragavan. Let's party. Fetching in response. I'm sure it's just getting a tap land. There goes Rag. Ragavan is also a mana dork. In a pretty reasonable kind of way. Like, it gets me from 1 mana to 3 mana the same as a Noble Hierarch does. Or Ignoble Hierarch. Okay, that was an enormous cathartic reunion that hit 2 Creeping Chills, but has not put any creatures into play. There is an Amalgam, a Bloodghast, an Ox, a Conflagrate. There's a lot going on for next turn, but I am going to get to crunch in here and maybe find an Endurance. Here comes Ragavan. Ooh, an Archamoeba, I could cast that. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna cast Seasoned Pyromancer. And I'm just really looking for Endurance here. I'm gonna discard Unearth and Land, because if I find Endurance, I'm gonna need a green card to go with it. Cool. Still bricked. Gets to do a pretty big pop off this turn. Wish I had Endurance right now. Clear that graveyard out. GG. But that's not what's going on. I think I can F6. It's pretty clear that if I had Endurance, I would have done it already. Life from the Loam, targeting a bunch of lands. That gets back Bloodghast. There's 2 Amalgams in the graveyard at this point. Now they're in play. I think I just clicked through my first main phase by accident, but okay. I can attack with Ragavan, which would get a trade off of Narcomoeba. Do I even want a trade off of Narcomoeba? Is that important or good? And it's a flying creature. Alright. I'll make him block. Which it is obviously going to do. But at least it removes a flying attacker from the field. And he can Conflagrate next turn and wipe it all out anyway. It just doesn't matter. None of this matters. I'm going to double block an Amalgam. Or does that make sense? They're coming back anyway. That doesn't make sense. He just Ox. So I'll just absorb as much damage as I can. Looks like going for 4 mana for something. This could be Life from the Loam and then a Conflagrate for 10. Oh yeah, I'm just dead. Yeah, Loam picks up 3 lands. Oh wait, the Loam is a card in hand, so there's only actually 9 cards in hand. Ha! Got there. But that turns off the fetch land. This turns off everything. Yeah, we're out of here. I actually don't need to see more of this game. We're done. There was one turn there, and it wasn't until, I think it was turn 3, where Endurance would have just nuked everything. And that is pretty interesting, because like an opening hand with Endurance just seems like it'll end the game. I'm gonna play the same deck, submit it, and try to keep a 7. Okay, no Endurance, but I do have a turn 2 Seasoned Pyromancer that can reload the hand. I'm gonna keep this. Turn 2 Seasoned Pyromancer, change up my hand, turn 3 Collected Company. Like, this is definitely a hand that could get there. I'm not sure how aggressively you're supposed to mulligan for Endurance. Like, I think last round just has me super gun shy. Alright, Grist in the graveyard, lost my Coco. Opponent dumped a Loam and Stinkweed Imp. I could Skelemental, but I still just think that's worse than every other thing I could do. I'm gonna cast Seasoned Pyromancer. Gonna discard Skelemental and Peatland, I think. Okay, I have Endurance, don't have a green card to go with it, but if I am not just dead right now, then Endurance get to smash next turn. Dredge Stinkweed Imp, found another Stinkweed Imp. Jesus! Please keep the Endurance, please keep the Endurance, please keep the Endurance. Random discard. Oh no. Fingers are crossed, butts clenched. Yes! I kept an Endurance and a green card off all that. I just conceded. Must have missed on everything, or just an aggressive concession. I know Marshall, like, we've road trip together, we've talked about it. If he's not like miles ahead when he wants to be, he'll just concede. Like the value of getting to the next game is more than like trying to grind out these ones you're way behind. And I guess that's what just happened there. I think he would have scooped to the Endurance even if he didn't just scoop to his failed Burning Inquiry. But yeah, that was quick. Not bad. Next round. On the draw in the second round. I'm going to keep this hand. Really wish I was on the play, but that's just evergreen tweet, apparently. The Bird of Paradise turned to Skelemental. This is a game. Oh, another Skelemental. Just gotta hope my Bird of Paradise survives. If it eats a prismatic ending, that'll be disappointing. I would really like to skeleton my opponent's face. Anyone with Flooded Strand in their deck is not going to want to deal with this Lightning Skelemental. And I'm excited about it. Windswept Heath. And Chalice of the Void. Okay, you missed your chance for that to matter. And here comes my fucking skeleton. I lied. Well, it did end up mattering. For Ragavan. But guess what? I got something for your face. How's it taste? They could still have Solitude, but that's still a 2-for-1. Honestly, rather than evoke Solitude, I guess the difference is they lose 6 life versus I gain 6 life, and they lose 2 cards either way. So this is probably better for them. Alright, fine. Deal. I got another one coming. This deck also has main deck Rest in Peace, though, which is something I should keep an eye on. Or at least be aware of. This is the, like, super hateful prison deck. Okay. Grandeth Magistrate, interesting. That was not in the build of this deck that I played on the channel. Opponent can't cast spells. Okay. Collected Company does not cast a spell from anywhere other than my hand. Copperline Gorge, drew it at the last chance it had to be relevant. I'm just going to get them Hellbent. Lightning Skelemental, let's go. I want you to have no cards in your hand, and then we can have a conversation about Collected Company. Bang! You're at 12. No cards in your hand. Discarded a Magistrate and Engineered Explosives. Okay, here we are. Top deck mode. They have to run out their lands. Can't even bluff me because they've seen the Skelementals. They know better. Splinter Fright. Nice. I'm gonna fetch and Coco off of lands and leave my bird up, because if I hit an Ignoble Hierarch, it could still attack. My bird could still attack for 1. Do I want red or black here? Kroxa takes double black. I already have double red. Yeah, I do want a black source here. I have double green already. And I have bird, which ties the room together, but can't really count on that. Grist and Bone Crusher are coming in. Okay, here they are. These are large creatures. And I'm gonna make a insect token and pass a turn. I feel like this one is in a good spot. I think it's safe to say. Kroxa. Okay, Drannith Magistrate does stop Kroxa from returning. But that's okay. Red, black, zap ya. They take 3 from that. And then I can sack an insect to kill Drannith Magistrate, or I could just attack with Bone Crusher. I think I want to mill and cast Splinter Fright. I'm going to attack first, see if they make any decisions based on this attack. And then I'll cast Splinter Fright. Are you frightened of my splinters? The mighty 2/2 Splinter Fright. Now I can cast Ragavan into Chalice just to grow the Splinter. They've had enough. They know Splinter Fright is the nail in the coffin. GTFO. Okay, this is the crazy blue-white prison deck. Prison control. It has, like, we've seen the Chalice of Solitude. they're going to have rest in pieces, so that makes me want Splinter Fright and Kroxa a whole lot less. I could bring in the Force of Vigors to fight over the things that they're bringing in to fight me, or I could just sidestep it entirely and have a different plan. Punishment also clears out Chalice, any number of Chalices in fact, just for 2 mana. That might be something I want. I don't want to be too crazy reactive, because I still want to just get them dead. Though, if I don't get set up right, and they get a Chalice under me, that could mess me up really bad, because the deck just doesn't have 2-drops in it. I am going to bring in 3 forces, 2 crime punishments. I guess I could shave another Unearth, but Unearth cycles anyway. Like, that's one of the only things to do for 2 mana in the deck, especially after I boarded out Kroxa, is cycle Unearth. I think I'm just going to run it like this. Actually, Klothys, if I'm expecting Rest in Peace, Klothys is pretty bad. Endurance is just a flash creature that's bigger than Solitude, so I think I actually like that. And this makes sense to me. I could cut the other Unearth for another crime punishment. I'm just going to do that. I just don't want to get locked out. Rest in Peace is really bad for me. Did I just submit 61 cards? Whoops. I've already clicked OK, and Moto is running away with it here. But the 61 card special, here we go. Shouldn't have registered 61 cards. My math is all wrong. That's a no-lander. Alright, I'll keep this one. I don't think... Okay, I think that Endurance is worse than Bonecrusher Giant, and I definitely want Force of Vigor and all my lands. So, Endurance it is. I would love to draw a Mana Dork right now, or Ragavan. No love. That's okay. I have a bunch of answers to Chalice at this point, or Rest in Peace, or WTF ever. Okay, I can actually kill that too. There aren't many ways to kill that, and I have one of them. I'm gonna get my Overgrown Tomb right now. Or I already have double green in hand, maybe I just get Blood Crypt here actually. Yeah, Blood Crypt is the one. I want to make sure I get black, but I already have double green locked up. Okie dokie. Yeah, in the deck tech, I was all about the Saga tokens, but Punishment also wipes out Sanctifier Envec and Auriok Champion, both of whom are problems for this deck, so that's cool. I'm gonna stomp them in the end step. Just get this thing, get this mana spent, get some value there. I'm gonna just sit on Endurance, I think. I should have played the Bone Crusher. Like, this just tells them straight up, hello, I have Endurance in my hand. Would you like to counter it? Though at least that makes them interact on their own turn. And they're not quite at hardcast Solitude yet. So this will cost them a 2-for-1. Or a counter spell on their own turn if they want to mess with it. Spell Queller. Neat. Alright, you got a Spell Queller. Okay, this is not at all the deck that I thought it was. I'm pretty excited about it. Ignoble Hierarch. I'll take that. That lets me use all my mana this turn. It's pretty cool. I'll eventually answer this champion. In the meantime, they can gain some life off it, whatever. If they ever crank Blast Zone to 3, it's going to take out their Spell Queller also. They're now at the magic 5 mana to cast Solitude. Both of their creatures can attack freely. I can't block one of them. Well, I can't block either of them. Or, I can't block one of them and I shouldn't block the other, is what I'm saying. In for 5. They can Solitude here. That's fine if they do. They're clearly showing me something. I think I want to cast the Old Pyromancer. I can discard Force of Vigor, and I wasn't really expecting this to resolve. I'm definitely discarding Force of Vigor. And then do I think that the Crime Punishment or Grist is better here? And I think keeping Grist is better. I missed on the land entirely. That's okay. Yeah, there's Solitude in the end step. You got it. I'm gonna stomp the Solitude. Splat. That is a 3/2 creature. Get it out. And they exiled my Hierarch. Interesting. I'm surprised that's the axis they think this game is being fought on, unless they have another Solitude and they're going for the 2-for-1 ambush now that I don't have Exalted. Like, they can play Solitude, exile one thing, and then block with the other. B-Skull. How about that Force of Vigor in my graveyard? I can play Grist, or I could just jam Collected Company. I think it's Coco time. They'll have to force a negation to interact with this, and it's a 2-for-1 either way. Skelemental. Hell yeah. Skelemental will get in for 2 damage and take 2 cards out of their hand. Love it. And then I think I just want Pyromancer. Let's keep the party going. Or maybe I just get Endurance and that blanks their attackers. Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay. I am going to not Endurance anyone. Like, my graveyard matters, and I don't want to like reset theirs. And I can get in with Skelemental. I'm not going to attack with Bonecrusher Giant, because that can trade with Batterskull on the other way. I guess they just move Batterskull onto the Spell Queller, and I'm SOL. But if I can get their hand empty and then Grist kill the Spell Queller, that's pretty good. It discarded 2 Skyclave Apparitions. Alright, yeah, this deck is way more creature heavy than what I thought they were doing after game 1. Sanctifier. Okay, they didn't just equip their Batterskull, which is great for me. Oh, Lurrus. Lurrus is just a card in their deck. Yikes. They have nothing they can replay with it currently. So if I Grist right now, it's going to work. Yeah, they're currently Hellbent. Here's Grist. Sack an Elemental to kill Queller, which gets me back my Endurance, which is another green creature. And I am going to bomb their graveyard at this point, now that they've shown me that. So if they equip, they'll have a 6/6 and Endurance can block it. Yeah, I don't think I get to attack with Endurance yet. I gotta just hold back for a while. If I draw another Stomp, that can get through protection. Like if I just get an all-out attack and then attack and they make the obvious blocks and I can Stomp. Okay. Seems like they just want to put their Sanctifier in the graveyard. They can replay it with Lurrus next turn, so that makes some sense. But I do have the 3rd Endurance to get rid of it before then. Okay. And in the meantime, it's not in play, so Grist gets to actually mill. Plus Grist. And do I have attacks now? Endurance. I still need Endurance, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna... This has pro black and red. Yeah, so I won't be able to block this if I attack with Endurance, and I'm not interested in chump blocking. And I think if I attack with my Endurance, they'll just take 3. They're at 30 freaking 6. Like, why would they do anything else? So Grist can kill Lurrus next turn if I need to do that, or it can keep ticking up. Seasoned Pyromancer is pretty close to a full value, just draw 2. Stoneforge Mystic. Uh-oh. They got Maul of the Skyclave, so they can play that. It jumps onto something right away. It gives it +2/+2 flying in first strike. That makes Lurrus big enough to punch through my Endurances. But it doesn't get Trample. So I could just chump with 1 Endurance and then kill Lurrus next turn. With Grist. Okay. That, I don't believe that was the right creature to put that on. A fetch in the end step. I'm gonna get Overgrown Tomb, that gives me double black. Oh yeah. That's probably gonna win the game. I'm gonna plus mill to Collected Company, that's a shame. I can Force of Vigor right now before they can pick up Batterskull, but they have to spend mana to equip the Batterskull anyway. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass again. I want them to equip Batterskull, I want them to attack, I'm going to double block, and then I'm going to Force a Vigor. both of the equipments, and then the game will end. That's my plan anyway. Let's see if it works. Okay. They've called my bluff. That's fine. We can hold here. I have a Planeswalker ticking up and they don't. I'm gonna kill Lurrus now. Let's just get that out of here. Get that handled. They could also Ratchet Blaststone up to 3, which is a pretty big problem for me. Yep, they found the line. Uh-oh. My hand's ready to reload, so that's not the worst. It is just a massive 4-for-1. But most of these things generated value on the way through the first time. Okay, they're just passing the turn. If I force a Vigor right now, they can pick up their Batterskull, but that means they can't Blast Zone this turn, so I think that is worth doing. Let's hit both of those. This just messes with their mana efficiency. But they have Stoneforge in play. Yeah, that was probably just bad. I think I had to let them pop their Blast Zone and then get both of these. Shit. Alright. Fucking Stoneforge Mystic. I thought I was playing that well for a minute, and then turns out, nope, I was not. Activate Grist. Ragavan hits the bin. Ignoble Hierarch in play. I think I should Season Pyromancer. Yeah, Season Pyromancer's... It's never going to be a full draw 2, because the first one I play will always discard the second. Now... Oh, they have Batterskull. So, Bonecrusher Giant can attack. Nope, Endurance should have attacked. I forgot about Exalted. Yeah, they just block with their pro-red creature. Or they just take 5, because it doesn't matter. They have so much life. Yeah, mistakes were made that turn cycle. I just forgot to account for Stoneforge Mystic activating. The game's not over, but that was pretty sloppy. Ouch, my zone. It's been blasted. If they also have Rest in Peace to follow up, it's pretty bad. If they can get these Seasoned Pyromancers out of the graveyard. I think chump blocking is better than group blocking this. Like, I could put all of my insects in front of it and then just have nothing left. I think that's worse than having material around when I play Grist. Ugh. Extremely interested in punishment at this point. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I can Grist and still Pyromancer. Killing the Germ barely matters. Killing Stoneforge Mystic might matter, though. Yeah, I'm gonna kill Stoneforge. So at least they can't loop their Batterskull forever. And I like exiling Seasoned Pyromancer more than I like... Oh, that costs 5. Shit. I thought that cost 4. Oh, I do have 5. I have the Hierarch. We're good. We're good. I did think that cost 4, though. Don't let me get away with that. They gain 1,000,000 life off of that because of the champions. Pretty sure they're supposed to just attack with everything here. Yep, coming straight at my dome. Or they should put 1 on Grist. Oh, everything's... Oh, is everything attacking Grist? Yeah. Alright, so I'm not going to block at all. Grist is dead. You got him. Yeah, that turn where I got impatient and didn't kill Batterskull is... Or failed to kill Batterskull is where I lost this game. Why didn't they do that pre-combat? That's insane. Exile, Seasoned Pyromancer, they gain 4 more life. I guess I do have a non-red creature I could block with, so the sword wasn't necessarily required. Oh, cool. Skelemental, that doesn't do anything. Another red creature. Got a lot of those in this deck. I'm gonna have to chump block Germ with my insect. And I take 2 from the other thing. Skyclave Apparition, sure. You're going after my Hierarch, so I'm gonna exile another Seasoned Pyromancer while I have the mana to do that. Here's their attack. Block with the Germ, or the insect, the one thing that can block. And I hope to draw crime or punishment that I don't really deserve, because I haven't played that well. Right, Unearth is reasonably cool. What's in my graveyard? Seasoned Pyromancer? Yeah, I could just reload again. I could also get Grist. But I think Seasoned Pyromancer to reload is what I have to do here. Like getting Grist, I can kill the Germ, but then they just move their equipment around and that doesn't even matter. I gotta try to draw a real card here. Like that one. What is the number? Mana value X. Yeah, so it is exactly X. This is a sorcery, unfortunately. I think I go 3. Punishment for 3. That kills all of my creatures too. Punishment for 2. But then I lose to this. Jesus. Yeah, this came a little too late. I think I still have to cast it for 3 though. The card I'm actually losing to over there is their Sword of Fire and Ice. And the Auriok Champions are rough, but the Sword of Fire and Ice is the thing that makes this wall of blockers irrelevant. They're just at 70 life, no big deal. This deck is pretty hostile to my deck, it's safe to say. I left in one Plague Engineer. I should bring in the other now that I've seen all these champions. I think it is time for a group block. Just put every single one of these in front. I'm going to block with all of them because if they have Solitude, I want to make sure that this block works. Blocking with 5 is the same as blocking with 4 is the same as blocking with 10. Alright, just re-equipped. I do have a blue creature that can block for a turn. I think there are lands left in my deck to fetch here. There are. Okay, there's 2 Stomping Grounds. How about Collected Company? That would be cool. Ignoble Hierarch. Sure, here's this. And there is a Seasoned Pyromancer in my graveyard right now that I can exile. There's 1 Force and 1 Punishment left in the deck, either of which would be pretty great right now. Maybe Force isn't that great, actually, because they can just pick up the Batterskull again. Yikes. They're out here trying to exile my graveyard. That's troublesome, but also fine. I'm more worried about the flying creature that can pick up the Batterskull. Ooh, this is a Cleric, and so is this. Plague Engineer is a big hit. Grist the Hunger Tide, sure. Grist? I'm gonna kill the Remorseful Cleric, which they'll obviously just use to bomb my graveyard. But that's all I can do right now. Now I'm mostly just gonna try to play fast and recoup some clock going into game 3. Skyclave Apparition. They should exile Hierarch with that. Okay, they made the right choice. Because Grist dies either way, but this version of events puts a 1 under Apparition instead of a 3 in case I can kill it later. Skelemental. Alright, yeah, let's get Scully. 1 damage can trample over this thing, and they'll still have to discard a card. Or they can double block and give me a blue blocker for next turn, which lets me get another draw step. Okay, they take 1, they end up discarding 2 cards. Feed me that sweet, sweet information. They're at 100 life. Ooh, Maria's Call. Okay, and I'm just dead to this attack. It's all good. Okay, 9.5 minutes to win a game 3. But they're at 11.5 minutes, so it's not like a crazy runaway here on the clock. Plague Engineer I do want after all. And seeing Lurrus in their deck makes me believe that they don't have Rest in Peace. We saw Remorseful Cleric, which is a totally different thing. I don't think Ragavan's where I want to be. We've seen Chalice of the Void. We've also seen a shitload of creatures. I currently have 60 cards in my deck, which is the number that I should probably have. Non-red and black answers to creatures. This only fights flying creatures, so that's no good. Klothys could be that slow burn against the control deck you're looking for. Yeah, I think I like Klothys quite a bit, actually. And Skelemental won me game 1. It got pretty awkward game 2. It still has Trample, though, so I'm in for that. Splinter Fright also has Trample. But it does just die outright to a Remorseful Cleric, so I think that's a no. Do I want Kroxa in, now that I don't think they have Graveyard Hate? Or don't have specifically Rest in Peace. We know they have Graveyard Hate. If I want this, I have to cut 3 cards. And what are they? Probably the 2 Unearths, and Collected Company is just too good. Seasoned Pyromancer is great. Endurance is fine. Like, I wouldn't love Endurance except that it's a red card. Or it's a non-red card, non-red, non-black card. Maybe I don't need 4 Grists in this deck, knowing that all their creatures have protection from everything. This is what I'm going to do. This hand is a 1-lander, unfortunately. Can I keep this? I'm gonna. Just hope this pays off. If I draw a land right away, then this hand is straight up fire. If I don't draw a land right away, it's gonna be a little harder, but make it work. There's Ignoble Hierarch. Let's go. Land right away? Didn't get there. I'll just attack for 2. And hope they can't kill these things. Alright, they shocked in a land. Stoneforge Mystic, that's pretty good. I can stomp it though. Skelemental. Oh, I wish. I wish. Oh, how I wish. I think I just have to stomp this creature though. Stomp you, attack for 2 more. Gotta Fade Blast Zone for a little while here. Sanctifier, Envec. Okay. That's not too bad. Stomp. I can't stomp that directly. I can Skelemental right through it though. Let's put some cards in your graveyard and some damage on your face. So they block, they still take 6 trample. Discard 2 cards. They also missed a land drop, so this is closer than it might seem. Oh, they chucked the Batterskull. Nice. Get out of here. They drew a land. I would like to do the same now, please. Teferi, that's tough. Sets me back a Hierarch, while also drawing cards for them. Might as well attack. You know I'm holding another Hierarch. I can just attack anyway. Okay, there you go. Unless you're actually going to block to save Teferi. Ooh, the land. The precious land. Does the precious land do anything? I can play Hierarch, Kroxa, or I could Kroxa and attack Teferi. I'm not even close. Oh, Kroxa's actually really bad with the other thing in play, though. I could also just not attack. I could play Hierarch and then stomp Teferi. Wait, that's the same thing as attacking with Hierarch, except that I lose my stomp, which is a pretty important card against the deck full of protection for creatures. This gets blown out by Solitude, but whatever. Auriok Champion, okay. Clothis, fuck yeah. That's the kind of thing that puts this game on notice. Okay, do you want to trade one of your protection creatures for my Hierarch? I don't think you do. That was correct. Moorland Haunt, okay. Apparition was a good one. Good find. And they get to attack here. Seasoned Pyromancer. I think drawing some cards here is a good idea. I would really like to find the land. I'm going to discard Grist and Kroxa. Jesus. The land did not come. Yeah, if I find land there, I can stomp Apparition in combat, and I have a giant blue blocker. That's going to be hard for them to get through, but missing on the land there was pretty bad. Just want to point out I'm 16 cards into my deck and I've seen 2 lands. They are at 5 though, which is not very much. Now they're at 2, holy shit. Wish I left up Stomp. Wow. Oh, Champion can gain some life, but this Stomp is really dangerous for them. And I have double Stomp. Or no, I don't have double Stomp. I have Bone Crusher and Stomp. Right. Good thing they exiled that Clothis, jeez. This is going to be a good turn for attacking, though. Okay, so if I stomp the Apparition and then attack, I could also just Coco, hope to hit a Skelemental. I think I'm gonna stomp though. And maybe they won't know how these rules work. Queller, shit. Okay, that was really good. Did I miscount their mana somehow? Yeah, I just, for some reason, thought that that was not on the table. If I attack, this will be a 3/4. And it'll get something. Okay, they just went to 2 for that. This game is stressful. I'm like very close to getting tempoed right out. If they have like sort of Fire and Ice or Maul of the Skyclaves, they could just crush. Queller gets in. Another Apparition. Does it have to take out a Hierarch? It does. Wow, that's cool. And Remorseful Cleric. Alright, I already didn't have a functional graveyard. You got it. I think it's time for Collected Company. I have waited patiently. Looking for a Plague Engineer, I think. And Skelemental. What? Literally zero fucking creatures. Okay. Okay. Well, that was it. That was my chance. Now we're fucking dead. Okay. Cool. This incredible magic. This was a great match. Came down to that. I crack my fetch land, get Overgrown Tomb in the end step. Alright, I do have a lot of mana here. Here's the Bone Crusher. I have the Endurance. It's pretty good. I'm running out of time though. They made a token in my end step. Another champion. Okay. I get it. I get it. The Flyers are going to attack. I have to hope that their one card in hand isn't good. Maybe the Flyers don't attack if the hand's not good. Or maybe they have lethal anyway. I haven't done the math. I think I'm dead though. I think they have done the math appropriately to deal 4 to me, even through this Endurance. Yeah, my only green blocker was that Hierarch that I had to tap to play the Endurance. And then I just die. Yep. Collected Company completely whiffing. Couldn't even give me one card. They were at 2 at one point with Stomp in my hand and just couldn't quite push over the finish line. Collected Company, high variance magic card. Did my best, wasn't good enough. Next round. We're about halfway through the video, so let me just remind you that if you like this deck and you want to try it out, you can use the code BoshNRoll to support the channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com, and you can play any deck anytime with cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. These links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the play in the third round. I've kept this hand. It is a good one, as they say. Playing against some sort of Kahira deck. I think this is another one of those elemental. And it's definitely an elemental deck, but is it the Chalice Prison deck, or is it something different? I don't know. We're going to find out soon. Here's my Hierarch. I have my nut start, do they? Ooh. Yeah, this doesn't look like a fair deck, I gotta say. I'm going to Seasoned Pyromancer, discarding Klothys and Kroxa. I don't think there's going to be time for Klothys, whatever my opponent's up to here. And Kroxa is better in the graveyard. And that just fixes up my hand with all sorts of action. I feel like at some point I'm going to have to stomp a Risen Reef. Unless this is just a combo deck, and I've been got. Oh yeah, looks like it's just Belcher, I guess. And the Kahira is a distraction. Well, it worked. I was distracted. So this is some sort of Belcher or Oops All spells. Oh, recross the paths. This just lets you stack your deck, right? Reveal cards until you reveal a land. Put that card onto the battlefield. Okay, so this just lets you stack your deck, because the deck has no lands. They reveal their deck, then they put everything in however they want it. They have Pact of the Titans, Charbelchers. Why do you have Pact of the Titan? Is this a Hive Mind deck? What's going on here? Does the Pact just combo with Infernal Plunge? Is that what's going on? Okay, well, they appear to be a Pyromancer Ascensions in this pile too. Oh my god. Well, they're definitely a Belcher deck, and then they have some other shit around here too that they're up to. Okay. Noted. My opponent won the clash, so they get to recross the paths back. Do I want Skelemental? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't want it in my hand, that's for sure. Hitting it off this Coco wouldn't be bad. But I don't have 4 mana in my upkeep to do that with. I can shuffle up, though, and try to get Skelemental back into the pool. I'm going to get Swamp because that can Croxa at some point. Collected Company. Okay, there's a both Ragavan. Oh, Jesus. I've been pretty good at Collected Company so far in this league. And I guess I attack for 4. And both of these attacks are for 4, so I'll just go with all my creatures. I'm sure I'm dead somehow now, but I would like to see it. They've stacked their deck. They should be able to kill me. Reforge the Soul. Okay, that makes sense. The Soul is reforged. Wheel of Fortune's been cast. Is that all Recross the Paths does? It just like, oh, but you get the next 7 cards. So, okay, no. It sets up Reforge, you reforge, you draw 7 cards that you set up, and then you Pact of the Titan, Infernal Plunge, into Ironcrag, Feet, and then Belcher. I get it. Cool deck. That's not sarcastic. I think I said it kind of sarcastically, but no, this is a cool deck. Yep, there's Belcher. Okay, and I've already seen their deck. I don't need to see them activate it. There are no lands in there. Good to know. Okay, out of the sideboard, definitely Collector Oof is coming in. Plague Engineer doesn't seem to matter. Punishment doesn't matter. Force of Vigor doesn't matter. Does Blood Moon matter? All the spells they cast seem to be red. I guess, no, I think that having my spells available is more important than letting them, or trying to screw them off theirs. Because most of their things are red anyway. I was right that Clothis is too slow for this matchup. I think Splinter Fright is also too slow. The Oofs are good. I don't think Force of Vigor does anything. I don't think Plague Engineer does anything. Okay, Force of Vigor, we saw their whole deck and they weren't doing the like Pentad Prism thing. So Force of Vigor I don't think is that good. Though it could play if they take a line that just sits their thing in play and they have to pass, or they have to like play it earlier in the chain for some reason. I don't know if that's a thing that actually happens, but it's probably better than Grist. I don't know, just in case. But I am making my Cocos worse every time I cut a creature. Alright, 2 Force of Vigor, 2 Grist. My Oofs are in. Yeah, this is the deck. I don't really have a whole sideboard plan for this. This hand is not good. This hand is also not great. It doesn't accelerate, doesn't interact. Okay, we got there. I'm going to keep this and send Bone Crusher and Unearth. Or Force of Vigor. Bone Crusher and Force of Vigor to the Shadow Realm. This way, if they kill the Oof, I still have Unearth to bring back the Oof. Tap land, go. Give it to me. Alright, that might be too many Unearths. Here's Oof. Oof, there it is. Extremely interested in drawing the land to cast the Seasoned Pyromancer. I can chuck the Unearths, but now I want to clock them. Okay, Desperate Ritual. Blood Moon, that's pretty good. That's funny, I was thinking of bringing it in. Cycle this, looking for land drops, because I'm still playing with Seasoned Pyromancer. There is still very much a game here. Seems we both mulligan to our powerful sideboard card. They just had land go. I'm going to attack with Oof first. They have some way to like kill it in combat, like a braid or whatever. I want to know about that and make decisions with Unearth accordingly. I think I'm still going to keep the Unearth in hand. I'm going to discard Grist and Plague Engineer, because I can still cycle Unearth with Mono Mountains and these 2 cards. Like I'm not even in the neighborhood of casting Grist, and I would need to draw my 1 of Basic Mountain to pay off Plague Engineer. They're tapping some mana in response to Seasoned Pyromancer. I don't know what's going on there. Okay. Hit my land drop. Another mountain. What is this end of turn play? Spikefield Hazard. Oh god, this is going to exile it. My Unearth plan was so good. Okay. And they had to 2-for-1 themselves to do that, but if their last card in hand is just Ironcrag Feet Belcher, it doesn't matter. Well, there's Belcher. I did bring in the Force of Vigors, but one of them's on the bottom of the deck. I have 2 draws to find it right now. Actually, it doesn't even matter. I passed the turn. Like, I can't force on my turn. I pass the turn, they just belch me. Yeah, it doesn't even matter. There's nothing I can do here. I guess if I draw Collector Oof and then cycle into Basic Mountain. Yeah, we're just out of luck here. Okay, we're dead. Yeah, that matchup just seems really bad. Not that there's nothing that could be done about it. This is Jund. There's always something you could do, but this current construction of the deck just has nothing for this matchup. You're on 2 oofs. Good luck. There's no Thoughtseize, no any other thing. So that's just an unfortunate pairing. Next round. On the draw in round 4, I'm keeping this hand with a Hierarch and a bunch of 3-drops. Aspire Bluff Canals. Okay. I think there's a Lava Dart in my near future, which is rough because my hand is not ready to play this game without Noble Hierarch in play, or Ignoble Hierarch. Whatever this card is that's in my deck. Please cast Opt. Please cast Opt. Ooh, Architects of Will. Okay. This might be even worse. I'm over here like, oh no, I'm gonna get Lava Darted, but no, I'm gonna get Living Ended. Gotta find an Endurance real quick. Don't stomp me, bro. Okay. I'm gonna play Seasoned Pyromancer over any of the other things I could be doing, because that puts 2 creatures in my graveyard for the inevitable Living End. It also gets me 2 draws closer to Endurance, which is really what I need here. Okay, Ragavan, somewhat interesting, I guess, but generally not. Just having some material left when they go for the Living End, just something to do with my graveyard is pretty nice. They can Living End in combat, probably. I'm just going again. Just keep dumping shit in the graveyard. And I'm doing it right now. Discard Croxa, and I don't think I want to discard Skelemental. Maybe I do, though. If I hit a Swamp. Nope, no chance. Why would I ever draw a land? That doesn't even make sense. Why would I think that's even an option? How many lands are actually in this deck, though? 21, plus the 5 mana dorks. Yeah, that's a lot of lands. Okay, are we getting Violent Outbursted? No, they're still cycling. Cycle a bunch more things. Perhaps deck one day. You'll give me what I need. Cycling Architects in the main phase. So they were either trying to hit a land drop or they have their combo. There's not much else in between. Okay. Praise whatever deity you believe in. We found the Endurance. Maybe I'm supposed to Skelemental there, because I'm going to pitch for Endurance anyway. Okay, so they get to Violent Outburst. Alright, now I don't have to pitch for Endurance, but do I want to anyway? I guess. Is it still just right to do it? I'm losing the Hierarch, so yeah. I'll just play Endurance. Do we win, or do they have, like, Pact of Negation or some shit? I guess I'm supposed to actually evoke Endurance, so it goes in the graveyard. Alright, Crocs at you. My poor Skelemental. Just stranded here. Okay, I think I could have played that turn better in some way or another. Yeah, I'm supposed to evoke Endurance for sure. Let it die. Let the thing bring it back. Okay, looks like it didn't matter. Looks like they backed it up. But Endurance. Just aggressively digging for Endurance is what won me that game. Just identifying very early on, that's a card I need. Is there anything other than the other Endurance that I want to bring in here? I could bring in the Moons, but I don't think that's actually good or important. Crocs is kind of dangerous. Just letting them discard. Clothis is cool. Splinter Fright. Does this die if they cast Living End? No. I don't know. It's hard to say. Alright, that one, I don't think that's what this is for. This card, it showed up game 1 when I was already winning, and it's been like pretty bad since then. Just keeping track of Splinter Fright here. This is going to be a mulligan. Can't even cast the cards that I have. Wait, did I just hit keep? I think I just accidentally clicked keep while I was explaining why this hand is unkeepable. Great. Okay. We'll make it work. Let's just draw endurance. No sweat. Play a land tapped. Gotta work my way up to these collected companies somehow. I would not have kept this hand. That was a busy narrating and trying to record a video while also playing correctly. Mistake. Waker of Waves. That's such a cool card. Alright. Neat. I'm gonna cycle Unearth in the end step. Hope for the best. I would also cycle Unearth in response to a Shardless Agent. They don't have red mana right now, and Simian Spirit Guide is banned. So I don't think they can cascade at instant speed. I would have got there. Land? Land? Yes. Okay. We're in business. And Grist is an exciting one because it starts dumping into my graveyard. Just fueling up for a competitive post Living End world. Grist hit a mountain. Okay, never mind. That world is a lie, a sham. And having endurance is just so comfortable. This is the second match this league where it's literally just like, please let me have endurance at all times. Alright, there's Living End. Cast with Evoke. I'm gonna get rid of a Coco. Are there counter spells they play? Okay, yeah, Subtlety is pretty hot. Alright. Subtlety will do the trick here. Is there anything I can do against top or bottom? I think I want a bottom. I guess I can just try to like overpower with collected companies if I draw a land. Subtlety can reset their Shardless Agent. Does it have to? I don't know, it's up to 1. Okay, I guess I'll try to play fair here, though that seems unlikely to be possible. Well, I found the land. Okay, make a 1/1. Play my land. Play Grist. Play my second Grist here. Keep the new one. Gonna kill their 7/7 at least. I can try to Coco next turn, but this pair of 4/4s is probably already unbeatable. There's just a lot of flying. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and I'm at 1. Yeah. Yeah, this one's over. Oh, they're letting me stay at 3. They're putting an attack on Grist. Alright, Company. There's possibly an argument that I shouldn't even cast Company, because I haven't shown them I'm a Company deck yet. Alright, they have Force Negation. Alright, sure. Game 3. Let's have 2 Endurances, I guess is what I need to ask for now. Does anything change? In the Harpooner could help fight in a post Living End world. I'm not going to be able to punish my way out of that. Magus of the Moon might actually be good. But I don't really think that's what I want to do. Bone Crusher doesn't seem great. Okay. This is what I'm going to do. I have Endurance and other stuff I'm going to keep. So I can turn 1 Hierarch, dash Ragavan with Exalted on turn 2. Oh, Gemstone Caverns, sure. Pitching a Living End. You got it. Ignoble Hierarch. He cycled Street Wraith in response twice. Wow. Powerful stuff. Come on with the grief. Okay, so they did use discard mode first. Alright, I'm gonna exile Coco to play my Endurance. I am gonna at least bomb the Wraiths that I can bomb. And if they take Ragavan, that gives me a creature post Living End. If they don't take Ragavan, I get to hit them with it. They can't have Ephemerate to go with this grief because that would mess up their cascades. Just draw another Endurance. Cool. Close enough. I'm gonna shock in Overgrown Tomb. I'm gonna unearth my Endurance? Or do I unearth Ragavan? This is actually close. Endurance does at least get the grief out of play. Ragavan... Alright, I'm gonna go for Endurance. Let's just get as much control of this situation as I can get right now. If I can keep Living End better for me than it is for them for a couple turns, and then resolve this Coco, there's a world. Land? Ooh. Red, red, black. Skelemental. That might be a bit worse for me than it is for them. Like if they just get to discard 2 creatures. They probably want to cycle those creatures to dig through their deck, not just discard them for fun. Oh, they're outbursting now. Okay. So they're just wrathing me. Okay. Just flipping those into a Ragavan. Alright, it's now Ragavan versus their stuff. Oh, Skelemental. They were scared of you last turn. Now Rag's gonna start doing stuff. Oh, I wish I had a land to cast that. But I just have to pass the turn. Okay. It looks like Endurance has bought me a nice chunk of time here. And I would rather Collected Company than Skelemental them. So I'm gonna use my Rag to pick up some treasures. Sidewinder. I get Coco now. I don't think that's where I want to do this, though. I'm a little worried about Hardcast Force of Negation because they haven't done a lot with their hand and they've been leaving up 3 mana pretty often. So I'm not going to Coco in the end step. Hierarch. So I can go Hierarch. No, I still want to be able to Coco in response to a Living End or after a Living End resolves, depending on how many creatures they can put in their graveyard in between. Alright, that's 3 down. They pitched 1, there's 1 here, and there's 1 in exile. I think they only play 3, right? Yeah! Get out of here! Final round's coming. I'm on the draw in the final round, and I have to mulligan this one. Ugh. No acceleration to be found here. I am gonna keep, though, and I'm gonna send Splinter Fright to the bottom. Sorry, Splinter. No one's actually afraid of you. Oh, that was my green card for Endurance. Bummer. Not doing anything in Modern until turn 3 on the draw seems like a huge mistake. Maybe I should have mulliganed. Or maybe I'll just draw one of my 5 birds and my hand is great. They top-bottomed their Serum Visions. Collected Company. Yeah, that's what this hand needed. If my opponent is a Storm deck, Collected Company or Endurance could be huge. But of course they're not. They're just a regular old Ragavan deck. Here comes Rag. This is the real test. We've played against a bunch of like meme stuff in this league so far, and now we're just against the Is It Rag deck, and this is the real test. This is Modern's S tier, and can we hang with it? Let's find out. They stole a Seasoned Pyromancer and then used their treasure to cast Serum Visions. I'm gonna fetch in the end step. I think I want Stomping Ground because I have black if I want it, and I want green in case I draw a Mana Dork. Okay, I can start doing it stuff next turn. Let's hope it's not too late. Just literally done nothing till turn 3 on the draw in Modern against Is It Rag. They bottomed both of the cards off their second Serum Visions, by the way. This deck literally cannot oh, nope. 4 Grist. I was about to say literally no outs to a Murktide Regent, but there are 4 Grist. Got it. That's why this list has so many Grists, because it has no other removal spells in it. Ooh, Expressive Iteration. I'll take that. That means they're not dashing Rag this turn. They're playing around Stomp. That makes sense. Just taking time off for a setup turn. That lets me sneak in a Seasoned Pyromancer, and then I don't have to worry about Ragavan basically ever again, because I'll have 3 blockers for it. Bobble. And, okay, old second main Ragavan. Or not second main, but not dashed. Just feels like it's in the second main, because they're always dashed. I'm gonna get another Stomping Ground here. My hand has black mana in it. I can play pain-free if I do this right. Oh, look who decided to show up. You're getting discarded. You deserve it. I'm gonna discard Skelemental and Ignoble Hierarch. I just don't think that Skelemental is going to do a whole lot in this matchup. So I can take a break on it. They can Murktide this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They could make a 5/5 Murktide. But I'm ready to Coco, looking for the Grist iteration again. This card is just so good. Dragon Rage Channeler, they found one. Now the game is on. I think I just want to attack with one elemental. Just test their life total. I don't think they want to trade either of their creatures for this. Okay. They're going to try to flip Dragon's Rage Channeler, which is great with me because I have Endurance for the blowout. I'm going to cast Endurance and Ragavan this turn. That was my plan even before I'm making this attack. Okay, so you block. And second main, play Blood Crypt, and I guess hope you don't have Solitude, or not Solitude, whatever, Subtlety. Alright, yep, get out of here. I was going to do this anyway, and sneaking a little action in on the side, removing their Dragon's Rage Channeler was just a bonus. Because I'm not ready for a Murktide, and I had to clear out that graveyard before they had one. This Expressive Iteration again. Finding their land drop. Making their land drop. I have a lot of thick bodies in play right now. I'm kind of into it. Ooh. Well, let's do this. Do I name Pirate or Monkey? What's the style choice? Nothing overlaps. It's just for fun. So I think that naming Monkey is more fun. Get your monkey out of here. And I'm going to attack with everything. Here they come. The Plague Engineer even stops the next dashed Ragavan. Oh yeah, they just take it all. Ragavan reveals Lightning Bolt. I'm going to play Ignoble Hierarch and Lightning Bolt them. I'll take 3 damage for free right off that. Just Ragavan functionally attacked for 5. Not bad. It's just Brazen Borrower. Oh, Archmage Charm, sure. Okay. Ooh, they shocked that in. That's terrifying. What are they doing for 6 mana that they couldn't do for 5? Is it like double Murktide Regent? No, they're still short on double Murktide Regent. Okay, it's just a spray of burn spells. That makes sense. And then a Murktide Regent. You got it. 8/8 creature in play. They draw for Bauble. Hey, that's the one card in my deck that does anything here. Do I go for it? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're not dead if I Skelemental. They are dead if I Grist. If they have Counterspell, I lose either way. I could Company. No, I'm gonna Grist. They can't Force of Negation it. They can't Subtlety it. They have to have actual Counterspell. Which they did. It's fine. And then attack. Gotta keep their life total under pressure here. Block Ragavan, go to 3. Wish I had 1 more mana. Ugh. So they can attack me to 6. If they have 2 bolts, they win. They top-bottomed the Serum Visions. Fiery Islet can draw the card they just put on top if they want it right now. Alright, yeah, best case scenario was Murktide Regent just doesn't attack, and I will take that. Ooh, get wrecked. Okay, Skelemental, or... No, I think I have to go for Grist. Yeah, alright. Unearth Grist. And if they counter this, I can Skelemental them. Skelemental gets bricked by a removal spell, but I think it's okay. Let's push for the W. The worst way this goes is that they bolt Skelemental, block Old Pyromancer, go to 2. Okay, yeah, that's not even that bad. They can go to 2 off this block. Willing to believe that Cocoing there instead of making the other plays I made is better, but by having Brazen Borrower, I think that shows me they don't have Counterspell, or it shows me they don't care about Lightning Skelemental because they could answer it in play and they don't need to counter it. That might make more sense. I'm not ruling out Counterspell here. Lightning bolt my face. Uh-oh. Did they find two of them? Am I dead? Oh, they have Snapcaster. Yeah, Endurance would save me here. What else is new? Oh, no, it wouldn't, because it would make Murktide Regent fucking huge. Oh, second Murktide. Alright, that's the same as Lightning Bolt. Alright, yeah, I'm dead. Yeah, they were able to stabilize where they needed to and get that one done. That was close. Yeah, not doing anything until turn 3 on the draw was a problem. There were definitely some problems here. You know, I want my Pernicious Deed, I want my Endurance, I want my Crawl Harpooners. A Skelemental, I actually don't like that much. I think I do like Clothis. I do like Croxa. Plague Engineer turns off monkeys and the smaller humans. Splinter Fright, sorry. It's not you. Maybe it is you. You would be pretty big. But I don't know. I'm not sold on Splinter Fright in this deck, having played this league now. Croxa, Coco. I'm gonna shave a Coco. It's just a 4-mana spell, and that's unfortunate. This is what I'm gonna do. There might be a smoother way to do this, but I don't know what it is. Like, I want all my removal, I want all my selection, I want my Seasoned Pyromancers because I want to be able to play through a Blood Moon. I'm not going to bring in Force of Vigor just for Blood Moon, though. On the play, gotta mulligan this. Uh-oh. This is risky, but I am going to keep it. I think this deck just has fundamental flaws against the deck with Lightning Bolt and Unholy Heat in it. And we're over here trying to play a deck full of 3-drops and have a mana creature stick around. Don't care for that. Open to draw a land here. Well, I need Hierarch to survive, and then I need to also draw land. It's tough out here. Okay. Halfway there. Come on, deck. Give me the land. Let me play some spells. Not quite. Do I cycle or do I harpoon? I'm just gonna play the harpoon. I'm just gonna get in here for damage. Play my 3/2 creature. It's not gonna fight anything. Nothing has flying. Yeah, that's awkward, but here we are. If they go for a hyper-aggressive Dragon Rage Channeler attack, or no, my Harpooner has reach. They just forced their Channeler to trade with Harpooner when they didn't have to. Yeah, I'm gonna block with my 3/2 reach. Thanks for coming. Land. Okay, got there. Alright, I'm gonna Pyromancer and try to... Oh wait, no. I'm gonna Endurance, make sure this graveyard is under control, so I don't get suddenly murked. Okay, now I have a 4-power attacker bearing down. I can unearth Crawl Harpooner if they play something with flying. I'm insulated against Dash Dragavan. A lot of good things just happened. I'm going to see what happens with this Pyromancer before I decide if I'm attacking or not. Counterspell, huh? Do I respect Ragavan? I'm just going to attack. It's clocking time. They didn't have Ragavan. Got away with it. Found their land off of Expressive Iteration. Play their land. I can unearth my Pyromancer this turn. So that was a good draw. I'm going to run out all of these creatures first. I want to get the bonus draw. Actual card advantage off of this. And another Ignoble Hierarch. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna get a basic just in case they do a Blood Moon. I don't even know if that's a thing they do, but I'm not fucking around with it if it is. Take 6. Crawl Harpooner was dope. That was a pretty good start to this game. Serum Visions, mill to land. Bottomed both off of Visions. No attack, of course. Whoa, Seasoned Pyromancer again. Alright, play my land. This is going to be the full Divination creature. I guess Ancestral Recall, if you count Seasoned Pyromancer as a card. Which you should. It is a card. They have a counterspell for this. What's the plan here? Oh, they could... Oh, I was about to say they could Brazen Borrow or something of mine. which would cause me to have to discard it to this Pyromancer. That would have been a pretty cool play. Alright, DRC is flying now. I'm going to attack with my Seasoned Pyromancer, who is a 5/5. Yeah, they might as well chump because they're going to lose it to Endurance anyway. I'm going to draw a Peatland in the end step. I didn't want to do it then because there's no 1-drops in the deck. So they can Murktide here. Or they're just drawing 2. That's fine with me. Bobble. Now they can make an even bigger Murktide. Okay. Murktide Regents here. Full 8/8 mode. Draw a card in the end step. Come on, Grist. Grist, Coco. Something. Endurance, not quite what I wanted. If I attack with all of my creatures, Endurance dies, I put them to... Alright, so 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm just going to attack with all of my creatures that can attack. Going to try to go wide here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. I can Endurance or Escape or exile Old Pyromancer. Exiling Old Pyromancer is a better line here. Yeah, sandbagging Endurance to block. Like, if I exile Seasoned Pyromancer right now, if they attack for 8, I attack back for 5, they bolt my Seasoned Pyromancer, and then I have Endurance to block Murktide, make sure I don't die for a turn, and then... And that's... It seems like a reasonable line to me. Hopefully they just don't attack with Murktide Regent. They're heating up my Old Pyromancer. Okay, that actually doesn't change the clock, because I have all the Exalted. I'm just going to try to swarm them over 2 turns, that's still the plan. I'm going to get my Overgrown Tomb here. Make sure I'm ready if I draw Grist or Coco. Ragavan. That changes the math. Yeah, I can dash Ragavan and still exile the other Pyromancer. They go to 1 here. Okay. Okay, wow. Using Unholy Heats on tokens. Pretty desperate. They are currently dead to my onboard Swarm. They did get to untap again, though. I hate when my opponent untaps. Bobble me. Okay, they have a block, and they have to be able to kill 2 other elementals to stay alive. Okay, no attack. Continue the relentless stream of elemental tokens. Hope they don't have some instant speed Pyroclasm. Okay, they're dead to Stomp now, even if they have everything else. I kind of hope they do have multiple removal spells now, so I can show them how dead they were anyway. Here come my creatures. Okay, Snapcaster Mage. Ooh, that's fun. I'm gonna let Snapcaster resolve and target something. Okay, Endurance in response. Here's Endurance. If their hand is counterspell, they get to stay alive for a turn. So this does make Murktide Regent huge, but that doesn't matter if they're dead. Dang. Regent is large now. Right, they have a Thought Scour, milling some Unholy Heats and stuff. Another Thought Scour. Sure. Okay. Now if they spend any mana on anything, I get to stomp them because they don't have 1 mana counterspells. Yeah, they're just dead. Okay. Final game of the league is coming. I think Kroxa is better than I gave it credit for, and Endurance is still good. Klothys is like pretty slow, but if we get into a slow game, wow, is it good. I'm actually going to cut one of my Crime and Punishments and go back in like this. I'm keeping this hand on the draw. It's got a bunch of powerful cards for the matchup in it. It's got a Hierarch. I'm just going to have some faith in my deck to draw a land, which has not been reasonable faith so far. Blooded Strand, Mishra's Bauble. They know what I'm drawing. Is it a land? Please tell me, opponent. It was a land. That's so lucky. Hierarch. Pass a turn. Thought Scour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They could jam Murktide right now, like fetch land, or not even fetch land. Like they could just make a 4/4 Murktide right now. Okay, that's not the play. I'm gonna get hit by Ragavan here. It's fine. They had a lightning bolt for my Hierarch. Unfortunate. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave up Stomp. Hopefully they just read this as can't cast a 3-drop without Hierarch, and they just jam their monkey into my Stomp. They've been playing better than that so far, though. I'd be a little surprised if they give me that. So a 5/5 Regent's actually a big problem. Okay, I still get to stomp the monkey. Stomp that. That needed to be a land for Grist. I freaking had it. I guess all I can really do here is unearth my Hierarch and hope I'm not dead. What a tilt. Oh no, I don't have a creature to sack, so Grist isn't actually good there. Never mind. It wasn't as close as I thought it was. It was actually not really close at all. I was a creature short of fighting with the Crawl Harpooner. If they Archmage's Charm and steal my Hierarch, I'm so fucked. But they should have done that before combat if they were going to do it. Yeah, my one land here being the Peatland is a nightmare. Just taking a full lightning bolt's worth of damage off of this thing so far. Life is pain. Discard, I think, Endurance and Crime Punishment. Still couldn't find a land off of all that. Alright. This deck with 26 mana sources has had a lot of mana problems. Maybe it's just not enough. Like maybe we need to look at more traditional Jund decks and figure out what they're doing and how many lands they play. I bet it's like 24 or 25 once you really get into it. They're holding up counter spells that I can never beat. I guess I have to play the Grist and just hope for the best. I can't draw another card any kind of way. Yeah, I mean, here's Grist. Am I dead? That's all I can say. And I think the answer is yes, because they started to cast an Archmage's Charm the other turn and then changed their mind. Yeah, there it is. Okay. And we're deceased. Disappointing. Mana problems, but they were able to remove a Hierarch. Yeah, the Hierarch-centric 3-drop plan is pretty cool when it works. Like, A, when you're on the play, B, when your Hierarch resolves, but I don't think this is just a way that you can really build a modern deck. I just think this deck would be much better if it did not have Collected Company in it, and it did have, like, Lightning Bolt, Thoughtseize, and Fatal Push in it. And, like, Splinter Fright, fewer Grists. I think we can smooth this deck out to be something more presentable. Obviously, this is a 5-0 list I pulled, and it wasn't the only time it was posted, so someone's out there doing well with it, but it just didn't line up well with a lot of the stuff we were doing. A lot of awkward hands, a lot of mulligans, a lot of times we just spent wishing for another land, wishing for another mana, and it just didn't get there. But this was fun. This is a cool deck building space. No Bloodbraid Elf Jund is sweet. I would probably want Bloodbraid Elf myself. I just think that card's real good. But someone has done the work. They've decided Collected Company is a better Bloodbraid Elf than Bloodbraid Elf. It just comes at other deck building costs, mostly that you don't get removal or interaction or anything to do on turn 1 or 2 other than play a mana creature, which I think is a pretty steep cost in a format like Modern. Those are my final thoughts on that one. Sam, thank you for asking me to play the deck. Everyone else, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the links to the Patreon, the YouTube membership, the merch, the TCG Player affiliate, all of that in the links below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.